evening. I'm Sherry Kroll, the Executive Director of Middlesex Community Living, and I would like to thank you for attending the 18th Annual Mayor's Breakfast. It's so inspiring to continually see so many people come out to support this event and to support Middlesex Community Living. We are very fortunate to be a part of a community that is so strong and involved. Assuming that everyone has sufficiently filled up on their breakfast, we'll get things started. First up, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the Mayor and past President of Middlesex Community Living, Mayor Joanne Vanderheyden.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Well, that was a great breakfast, and it's only 22, so they fed all of you in a very short while. So maybe we should have a hand of applause for the people that prepared our food. So thank you. It's a great opportunity for us as a community to come together, to learn a little more about our community and its citizens, and support the efforts of everyone involved in making this a great place to live, work, and play. At this time, I would like to invite Middlesex County Warden Curtis Smith up to bring greetings from the county. Curtis, I know you're here. I saw you. There you are.
And you don't need the stairs, I know that too.
No, I don't need the stairs at all. Thank you, Mayor Vanderheyden. On behalf of Middlesex County Council, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today and supporting the Middlesex Community Living. And I was looking at the placemats and even the sign here where Strathroy-Caradoc, a community where everyone belongs. And I think looking at the community and everything that the staff and all the individuals that support Middlesex Community Living and what you do, thank you so much. And thank you, Mayor Vanderheyden, for hosting this excellent event.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Curtis. Monty McNaughton, our MPP, was not able to attend today, but he sent a video, so hopefully it's going to be on the screen.
Hi, I'm Monty McNaughton, MPP for Lambton, Kent, Middlesex, and Ontario's Minister of Infrastructure. I wish I was there with all of you this morning in person. I want to begin by thanking Mayor Joanne Vanderheyden for her leadership, for extending her name and title as Mayor of Strathroy-Caradoc to this important annual event. Mayor Joanne Vanderheyden is a strong leader for Strathroy-Caradoc, and personally it's been such a pleasure to work with her. I want to also say to everyone at Strathroy Community Living, thank you for everything you do for the families who depend and rely on community living, to the businesses and just the entire community. We're very thankful for your leadership, for what you do, and for making Strathroy-Caradoc a inclusive community. Your effort is important and has not gone unnoticed. So please keep up the great work and making Strathroy-Caradoc just a wonderful place to live.
And Monty works very hard on our behalf. Unfortunately, our MP, Lambton Kent Middlesex, Bev Shipley, could not be here either this morning, but he sent greetings. Dear Mayor Joanne, Middlesex Community Living members and employees and special guests, that's all of you, each and every one. I would like to thank you for the kind invitation to attend the 18th Annual Mayor's Breakfast. I regret I am not able to attend as Parliament is in session, so apparently he's there doing his job, and that's what we expect from him, so that's a good thing. Thank you to Mayor Joanne Vanderheyden for her ongoing support of Middlesex Community Living. This is a great organization that has been serving adults with developmental disabilities in Strathroy-Caradoc since 1965. This organization continues to assist those individuals and their families to live independent lives, and we are so appreciative of the work that they do. I wish you all an enjoyable breakfast. Sincerely, Bev Shipley, MP, Lambton, Kent, Middlesex. So thank you, Bev, for that. So once again, thank you to all for allowing me to be here today. Each year I look forward to this opportunity to share with you, to share some of the things that are going on in Strathroy-Caradoc. There are so many important people in our lives, people that are here today, people that we see every single day, and they represent what makes our community so very special. Last year I spoke to you about the challenges and opportunities of growth. This is something we are working to progress every single day. We also talked about how many of us in this room have been a part of this community for many, many years, and how our communities are just rapidly changing. So today I wanted to talk to you about how we are working to make sure things don't change that much, even as growth continues, because we still want to be the same community we were before. Your council is extremely busy. We are on committees, we belong to organizations, county council, conservation authorities, SWIFT, which is the Southwest Integrated Fiber Technology Organization, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, Ontario Small Urban Municipalities, SCORE, South Central Ontario Region, our police board, Lake Huron Pipeline, we volunteer at service clubs, the Hospital Foundation, and those are just a few of the things that your council of 9 do outside of our council duties, because we want to make sure that we learn and listen to what's going on around us so that we can make those decisions that are so important in the future. We do have a number of our councillors here. I'm not going to say them by name because I don't want to miss anybody, but our councillors and Deputy Mayor, please stand. So take a good look. Those are the people that you can call or talk to when you have a positive comment or an issue. So often when we think about community, we talk about real estate and landmarks. That's how we traditionally measure success. We think about new businesses and shopping outlets. We think of our old churches, their beautiful buildings, the old railway station, who remembers that? That was gorgeous. What the downtowns look like. And we marvel at some of the new buildings that are starting to dot our landscape. After all, growth is easy to see when this is what you're looking for. However, no one has ever moved to Strathroy-Caradoc because of a new landmark. So what are people looking for? Our communities are now home to people who grew up somewhere else. Vancouver, Burnaby, Mississauga, Brampton, Ottawa, Sydney, London. Those are our new neighbors. I have lived here my entire life, and I think our communities are wonderful. Frankly, of course I am the mayor, it's easy for me to see why people want to live here. But as mayor, I want to know why people are coming here. What is it that they see in our community that makes them want to come to Strathroy-Caradoc? Because frankly, there are 444 municipalities in Ontario that they could choose from. So we want that information so we can become proactive. The decisions that we make have to be thoughtful. We have to be proactive and grow in a positive way. Now, we do have a very solid foundation. And when we speak of sustainable local development, agriculture needs to be on the list in Strathroy-Caradoc. Strathroy-Caradoc rests on a rural foundation. The ag sector, the agriculture sector, is an economic driver, a resident retention and employment tool, and it is a cultural influencer like no other. But the sector is struggling under the weight of increasing costs, pests, regulation, and erratic weather patterns. These are things that governments at all levels need to work on with the industry to resolve and manage. But simplistic solutions won't solve complex problems. We need to be innovative and out of the box if we're to help prepare our farmers and our farm families for the challenges of tomorrow. So again, planning is key. This means that we need to ensure that there is appropriate and affordable housing for everyone and that our community designs actually function well. From apartments, assisted living spaces, seniors' residences, to large snub homes, boy, we had a lot of discussion over that a couple of years ago, condominiums, affordable single-family housing options, we need to encourage and engage developers to build a healthy housing mix that meets the needs of our population today and into the future. But we also need to prevent growth from outstripping our ability to absorb the change and our ability to protect the things that we like about where we live. Things like the walkability of our streets, the security of our neighborhoods, the accessibility to services, the low costs associated with living here versus other places around. But those costs are catching up. Housing costs are going way up. Whether you walk the trails, canoe the river, shop in our streets, or enjoy the atmosphere of our charming population centers, we all enjoy these amenities, and we need to do everything possible to preserve the things that we love about Strathroy-Caradoc. And this includes maintaining our community as a welcoming, safe, and livable community for everyone. As everyone here already knows, having a house is not what makes a place feel like home. In the past 2 years alone, the municipality has launched a series of new camps and programs to engage in young people. From our traditional sporting options, such as basketball, hockey, swimming lessons, we have now branched out to film camps, archery tag, that's right, archery tag, that all by itself sounds a bit much, junior chefs, to our highly celebrated junior carpentry program. These skills-based recreational options combine training and fun, and it engages our youth. Our intention is to engage the youth at the earliest possible moment, to make them understand that they are valued and they have limitless potential and skills that can be developed and deployed both for fun and as a way of preparing them for the future. When our young people succeed, we succeed. Secondly, we need to plan ahead. Growth must be scalable and it must be controlled. We're getting better at it, and this is important. In 2019, the municipality started to formally create an updated strategic plan, no small effort. This process includes situational planning for eventualities that may alter our growth patterns. That's an important sentence in this day, which may alter our growth patterns. The province is doing a lot of different things over the last month, and I don't think we've heard the end of it. How is that going to affect our community and the way we operate? So those are things that we have on our horizon. Tonight we have a meeting at the Gemini. It's the North Meadows Secondary Plan. We're studying how a community is put together. What can we do to make it even more a part of a community? Why would people want to live in that part of town? So those are the kinds of things that we're looking at and trying to make happen. What happens if the housing bubble busts? What kinds of infrastructure will be required to serve the needs of our residents in the years ahead? Again, what will be the fallout in the services with all of the provincial changes? More needs to be done, and it's clear that we need to put our seatbelts on because we're moving ahead very rapidly. So what makes our communities great places to live, work, and play? What makes us want to live here? For me, the answer is quite clear. It's our people, our neighborly spirit, our love for community. These are the things that make Strathroy-Caradoc a place so many are flocking to. These are the things that our council, our BIA, our chamber, our police and fire services help to support. We're working hard to do just that. In the past year alone, our fire service raised thousands of dollars during their annual boot camp for muscular dystrophy. The police service continues to give back to our community with their Cram a Cruiser toy drive, and I've been at that. That's a riot. It's so fun to watch. Municipal staff and council continue to help empower women entrepreneurs in South Africa. Our town hall staff worked with the downtown market to execute our first ever night market, and it was a huge success. It was like having a big homecoming fair right in the middle of town. The Community Services Division helped the BIA to host the Victorian Christmas event. Again, people came from all over in the middle of winter to come walk down our streets and go to our stores. Numerous fundraisers for many causes set up by individuals, groups, and service clubs. Neighbors helping neighbors, community building community. Growth is about the buildings, monuments, landmarks, but community is about what fills those structures. As your mayor, I can tell you that the municipal team is working hard to make sure that this is what our citizens expect. Vision, good planning, efficient, valuable services, housing, recreation, all the things that underpin what you do in your daily lives. We all go to work, we all have things that we have to do, but what's the glue that holds all of that together? And that's all those other events. I'm so glad to know that the team of people in this room are committed to these very same goals, because if we work together to make sure there's a positive and welcoming place for each and every one of us, then there can be no doubt that there will be a wonderful place for all of us. Thank you again for allowing me to be here with you again this year. I look forward to working with you to make Strathroy-Caradoc an even better place to live, work, and play. Thank you for your time. Even though you're all friends, that still makes me nervous to be up here in front of you doing all of that, which I guess is a good thing. On top of all that exciting stuff, today is also an extraordinary breakfast. We are here officially launching the Strathroy-Caradoc Welcome Community Initiative. To tell you more about the initiative is Middlesex Community Living Board Chair and Strathroy-Caradoc's Chief of Police and my friend, Mark Campbell. didn't pick up any of your notes, did I?
Nope. Thank you very much, Joanne. I should turn my page around to let you know just how much I've emboldened my notes. The last couple of years I've had to wear my glasses, and it makes it hard to see all my speaking notes I have to talk about. So first of all, I want to thank Joanne for those great remarks. It highlights what is so great about this community. She touches on, how embracing this community is, how we come together as a community. We are a growing community, yet we still have not lost that feel for being a small town. And it's one of the great things that I see as a police officer in this community, is knowing how much everyone cares for each other, how much they pull together for each other, and how they really do want to help each other as we get through our days. I also want to give some well-deserved recognition to 3 different groups. In my speaking notes, there's one group, but I've added a couple of others. My fellow board members are situated at a table right here. It's a very dynamic group, a group that represents the community in various sectors, bringing various areas of expertise. It is a true honor to work with this group. Every meeting that I'm at, I feel like I'm gaining more information about what it means to give back to your community. The management group, they're situated at a table in the far corner without the napkins, I understand. This is a group, as a board member, we have some interactions with, but again, most of it flows through Sherry, the executive director. But the information and the firsthand knowledge we see of the great work that the managers do for this organization is very evident. And it's that group of people who I know are really that middle group between us as a board and the executive director and the staff members that make Middlesex Community Living such a wonderful organization and such an efficient organization. And then the last group is really the staff members, and they're dispersed amongst the group here. They really, and again, and I speak from my heart in this, in that they're the group that make the day-to-day operations of this organization go. And that's true in every organization. Those frontline people, the people who have the contact with the people who are being supported, they're the group, they're the ones who make an organization what it is. I also want to thank the citizens of Strathroy-Caradoc for making the time to come out to this event. 18 years is a long time for an event to exist. I've been to a lot of those events. Some were at the Bear Creek Golf Course, some were at Caradoc Sands. It's great to come to Mount Bridges and embrace this part of the community as well. We also want to talk about the launch of the Strathroy-Caradoc Welcoming Community Initiative. The idea for this initiative arose through Middlesex Community Living's strategic planning process in late 2017. The organization was setting priorities and goals for its future, and the priority that rose to the top was to promote and advance life in community for people with developmental disabilities. When looking at ways to do this, the staff team had an ambitious idea that was proposed that, what if we make it a community-wide initiative? We can expand our goal to include all people in the community, and we can do this by awarding businesses and services that demonstrate that they are welcoming with a decal of distinction that they can display on their front doors, and together we can brand Strathroy-Caradoc as a welcoming community where everyone belongs. And so the idea was born. The timing was perfect. Middlesex Community Living's primary funder, the Ministry of Children, Community and Social Services, was taking proposals for a modernization grant that would be used to create positive change in people's lives and create inclusive communities. Middlesex Community Living submitted a proposal and was awarded a grant in May of 2018. 1 year later, Middlesex Community Living has moved the idea from being a feel-good concept to a do-good community innovation project. As the board chair, I am proud that Middlesex Community Living is spearheading the project and looking ahead. I'm also very excited to see the community run with it and put the municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc back on the map. As a welcoming community where everyone belongs, I will pass the microphone back to Sherry, and she will give you many details about the project and everyone in the room, how they can get involved, and together we can make it a success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. I am very excited to be here today to officially launch the Welcoming Community Where Everyone Belongs initiative. It's been a successful journey thus far, and I look forward to where this path will take us. But let me start first by backing up a little bit and telling you about the early start of our initiative. The first thing that we did after being awarded our grant was to form an inclusive community steering committee made up of representatives of our local community. And I'm happy to introduce those members to you. They're all seated at the table in front here. And I would ask that they stand so that we can give them proper recognition. Stand up, let's go. And you gotta stand until I say your name. And I wrote the list in alphabetical order. The first member of our committee is Gail Barker from Stellar Coaching and Consulting. She unfortunately can't be here today, but her heart is with us. We have Dave Burdan from Youth for Christ Strathroy, Dawn Crook, who is at the back in the corner, a manager at Middlesex Community Living, Bill Dakin, the Director of Finance with the Municipality of Strathroy-Caradoc, Brett Denning from Denning Funeral Homes and a member of Middlesex Community Living Board of Directors, Kathy Manis, General Manager from the Strathroy and District Chamber of Commerce, Brad Ward, a resident of Strathroy-Caradoc. I also serve on that committee, and we have the support of a consulting group called People Minded Business. So thank you very much for your work thus far. They have been a very active and engaged group and very committed to the project that we have. The second thing we did as a project team was to create a map of our community and its members, both our businesses and our service directory, as we wanted to invite everyone in our community to attend a forum where they, as members of our community, would have a chance to do two things. We wanted them to design a decal of distinction, and we wanted them to identify what types of actions make a community welcoming. Third, we hosted an afternoon and evening forum on January 30th. I think it was the coldest day of the year. But regardless of the cold chill, there was over 50 warm-hearted community people that came together of all different ages and backgrounds to provide insight into our project. We had a speaker's corner that was graciously set up by Brett Denning, and what I'd like to do is to share with you a little video clip that highlights some of what people said about being a welcoming community.
My name is Pauline. When I think of a welcoming community, I think of a community that has open arms. There's a sense of belonging, a sense of feeling comfortable when you walk in a store, when you're in the park, when you greet people.
My name is Sherry.
I'm Jamie.
And we are from Strathroy-Caradoc.
I go to SDCI High School.
I work at Middlesex Community Living.
Strathroy to me is a very inclusive place.
Absolutely.
Very welcoming too.
I'm Davia.
I'm Robin. For me, you want to be able to walk into a place and feel welcomed, right? And not be afraid to be who you are, right? And to have people that support you. I know you brought your friend Jamie with you tonight or whatever, but this evening tonight I brought us together, and I would never have thought that I would meet a younger person who started out being a little lost, but was brave enough to come to a setting like this and talk about who they are and know that that can build into something bigger when we develop our community is what we're trying to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Welcoming community because we want more people welcoming to our community because we feel like we're needed to bring more people into our community.
My name is Brad McGee, and I am here in Strathroy, which I consider already to be a very welcoming community. As an educator for the last 30 years, recently retired from a local high school, I know that the importance of blending populations within a town cannot be overstated. I think you have to have a cradle-to-grave approach to being welcoming. And at certain times of life, we have to take responsibility for one another. I think a caring, informed, and compassionate community looks after its children collectively. I think it is difficult to be a teenager. That's the group that I've taught for 30 years. And I think we can do a lot more intergenerational learning within this town.
I really like it here because I got to hear all the different people's thoughts.
I get welcomed with a smile and a hello, and who welcomes me back every time, even if I have a bad day, that I will feel welcome no matter what.
My name is Dolly Fitzgerald from Strathroy-Caradoc. I live on West K Avenue, a Boston from MCL.
Hi, my name is Nancy, and I live in Strathroy, and I find Strathroy pretty welcoming, but I think it could be even more welcoming, and I think even just having a welcoming committee and welcoming new people, and what I see that look like would be people that are friendly, smiling, accepting, all walks of life.
Hello, my name is Joanne Vanderheyden. I'm the mayor of Strathroy-Caradoc, and I'm very excited about the project that's happening right now, where we're looking at what is it that makes our community welcoming, or are there strategies that we need to make it even more welcoming. I've lived here my entire life. I've never lived anywhere else, and so I know a lot of people, and I feel welcome almost everywhere. But I can tell you different things, like when we have our Strathroy Hometown Festival, or we have our markets. We had an evening market last year. When you walk downtown and you see people you know, and everybody is there for the community and for each other, that makes me feel totally happy, and then I know we have a welcoming community. What I would look for in the future, if I was to change anything at all, I would like to mention that it's really great when a community only recognizes people for themselves, not their sexuality or their gender or their ethnicity or anything about them, but we just recognize each other as people that are here to make sure that we have a healthy community, that it's a great place to work, live, and play. That is my dream for this community. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have great deliberations.
I applaud that as well. I think that's some really good stuff there. And I think it's tremendous that we had people of our community just come together to talk about what it means to be a member in this community and what they appreciate so far about this community and how they would like to see that grow and enhance. So good job to our community. In front of you, you have a place card that looks like this, and it represents the fruits of our labor from that day. The door decal of distinction, which is the decal that's posted here on the place card, and the 5 core actions of a welcoming community were defined during that day event. And those core activities include accessibility, compassion, friendly, helpful, and safe. So now that the decal and the core values have been identified, the next thing to do involves you, the members of Strathroy-Caradoc. You now have the opportunity to identify and promote your business or service as one that is welcoming and where everyone belongs. To receive your own decal of distinction to put at your place of business, all you have to do is to meet one of the criteria that is identified under those 5 core action items. So it's a self-declaration process. You take a look at it, think about your business, and if you feel that you meet at least one of the criteria under each of those core categories, accessibility, compassionate, friendly, helpful, and safe, Then sign up to receive your Decal of Distinction. And that can be done in a couple of different ways. You can go online and visit the Strathroy-Caradoc Welcoming Community Facebook page, where you will be able to download the form, complete it, and submit it to us. Or you can come into the main office at Middlesex Community Living, which is at 82 Front Street West, and the reception desk will be glad to help you out to complete your form and to submit it to us. And the forms, here they are also on the table, and I think there's some at the front door as well. They look like this, so it's very straightforward. Just complete the card, submit it, and once you've done that, a member from the Welcoming Community Committee will come to your place of business. They will present you with your Decal of Distinction that you can place on your door. And they're going to do a little video clip of you, because we want to hear from you about why you believe your place of business is a welcoming place where everyone belongs. We're going to capture your story, and then we're going to put it on the Welcoming Community Facebook page so that other members of our community can see that and appreciate your place of business or service location. Moving forward, it is our intention that we will continue to use the Mayor's Breakfast as an annual event where we acknowledge the businesses and services that are participating in our project and our commitment to creating a welcoming community where everyone belongs. In addition to services and communities and businesses receiving recognition, the Mayor's Breakfast will continue to present a member of our community with a Community Hero Award. Through a nomination process, the award provides special recognition to a member of our community who is going above and beyond to make everyone feel welcome and give everyone a sense of true belonging. And that brings us to this year's recipient. Before introducing this year's Community Hero, I would ask you to turn your attention to another video.
So my name is Tim Riley. I've been going to Bethel for about 5 years, and I had the opportunity to go on a mission trip with a bunch of amazing people. One of them is Jesse Scarrow, and we had a lot of laughs, but it was great working with him, helping people with Saint Cecilia.
Hi, my name's Jesse Scarrow. I've been going to Bethel for 15 years. I had the opportunity to go to Saint Cecilia, Quebec.
He worked alongside me and the rest of the team, and we did tasks like cleaning houses, weeding gardens, and just talking to people.
There was a group home just like Middlesex Community Living here in Strathroy. The highlight for me was sharing my testimony, how God impacted my life with people who don't know Christ. Just hanging out with Tim and the ladies and the whole team. They really impacted my life.
Me and Jesse were talking late at night, and he starts crying. He was part of the team there. He was loved. He felt that he mattered. He was included. And I've known Jesse for a long time, and Jesse knows lots of people. I didn't realize how lonely he was.
Everyone who came on the mission trip just became like really, really close. They really touched my heart, and I hope to go back. We can help people in Strathroy, or just like we did in Quebec. And it's just like a 1 for 51, just helping your neighbor, going out, serving, and just loving on the people.
And I think the biggest part is what we were doing in Quebec, we could easily do in Strathroy. You don't have to go across the world to impact people. You reach out to people and hear whatever needs they are, moving people, helping them paint their houses, weeding their gardens, cleaning their windows.
That Jesse Scarrow join me, and please bring forward with you Tim as well, so that we can present Tim Riley of Bethel Baptist Church, our Community Hero Award. So we wanted to present this award to Tim and to the Bethel Baptist Church for the work that they've done in creating an environment that really honors each person and truly creates a place where everyone feels welcome. Thank you very much. I also want to take a moment just to mention the ripple effect that's happened because of a welcoming community initiative. So at the January Community Forum, an idea was proposed that it would be lovely if the mayor sent out a welcoming letter to new people that have moved into our community. Well, Bill Dakin, who sits on the committee, immediately took that information back to Town Hall, pitched it to the mayor, and like that, she was on board, and as I understand it, those letters are now going out to new members that come into our community. So action can happen quickly, and it's those little things that really make people feel important. Also at the forum, we met some wonderful teens, some of which you saw on the video, and they were really excited and interested in promoting inclusion in our community. So Middlesex Community Living sponsored them to attend a conference in Toronto called the Community Inclusion Conference, of which they attended, and they're now taking the ideas that they learned at that event to bring them back to our community and to work with the schools that they're a part of to create an environment that is very inclusive for all people. On a personal note, I also want to share a story. My son Jonah recently experienced firsthand how wonderful it is to live in a community where everyone belongs. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you just a really quick video clip that was recently taken from his school, Holy Cross Catholic Secondary School here in Strathroy. As every parent of a teen graduating knows, that time of year when the topic of grad and prom comes up is on every student's mind, likely more so than their exams are. And the buzz is building and people are getting excited about it, but that thought of who am I going to go with and am I going to get asked or aren't I going to get asked can create some anxiety in both the students and in their parents. And that was the experience of both Jonah and I. But the video clip I want to share with you recently took all my stress away, and it melted my heart, and hopefully it'll have an impact on you as well.
You want to go prom with me?
Yes! I will!
Gets to my heart every time I see it. So if you missed it, Jonah was asked to the prom by a grade 12 student who he met in an integrated classroom setting. That prom proposal was made possible because Jonah attends a school that values inclusion. And both the student body and the teachers there, they value acceptance of everyone. That right there is what it means to be a part of a community where everyone belongs. I'm going to get emotional, and I didn't intend to do that. Sorry. But I do feel that we're very fortunate to be a part of Strathroy-Caradoc. We're very fortunate to have a mayor and a municipality that values inclusiveness. Let's keep that momentum strong and continue to brand Strathroy-Caradoc a welcoming community where everyone belongs. Now, we've come to the end of our agenda, but before you leave, I do want to take a moment to ask you to complete that short questionnaire that was provided to you when you came in. If you could just complete that and leave that on the table, we would be very grateful. It provides us with data that we're required to collect as part of the project. I also want to thank you in advance for completing those forms to get your Decal of Distinction. We want to get those everywhere in this community, so do please complete that form and get it to us so that we can get your Decal to you. Otherwise, I want to thank you very much for your time this morning. We hope that you enjoyed the breakfast and have a lovely day.